rocked out a little bit today. I'm proud to say. Went to Activision, and I got to rock a little bit. I played some Guitar Hero, which I previously talked to you about a little bit, Kyle.
Sure.
And Ben, you were a little concerned about some of the camera work that you've seen in Guitar Hero so far, particularly the repetitiveness and the intrusiveness and kind of like the fakeness potentially about, you know,
it's trying too hard to be cool, Brandon.
Ben said some of the funniest criticisms I've ever heard of this. Just like he doesn't want to make these douchebags happy.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
not necessarily...
Or angry. I don't want to make them anything.
And I don't know what this means necessarily, Ben, but not really a game I thought I would have expected that you would have a strong opinion about. And
I love Guitar Hero is near and dear to my heart.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun today, and I really dug the stuff that they showed off today, and I'm curious what you think of it, Ben. So what I played before was the single player, the story mission. So you can't play that multiplayer. You might be able to play a co-op, but it's specifically geared towards you pretending to be this person. So there's a set number of songs that are specifically written for that experience. Well, not written, but like that they acquired and reproduced for that experience.
That game mode.
Yes. That is Guitar Hero Live. That is the mode. When you jump into the game, you're going to have two options, literally two boxes. I don't know if the UI is going to stay the same. One says Live, the other says TV. The other thing is Guitar Hero TV.
Okay.
GHTV. They're GHTV, we're GTTV.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
GHTV. GHTV is a set of channels that are always going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that never stop. That all have different categories. So one was like hard rock and metal. Another one was like popular songs, like popular Billboard tracks. I don't know. The numbers they were really hazy on. Like anything that concerned numbers, they were like, don't pay attention to that because we're still fluctuating, like how much stuff will cost and how much, exactly how many songs we're going to have in the game and so forth. But it seemed like a healthy amount of these channels, depending on different genres of music, that you can go in and start. So two things I think that this really benefits. One is, imagine you get home. It kind of reminded me of like SSX, where I'd have like challenges from other friends, and so I'd go in and log in and like see how I did. So you log in every day, and you immediately get a bonus just for logging in that day. So it's just like, oh, okay, you tuned into Guitar Hero TV. We'll give you a little bonus, and then you grab one of these channels. Say you grab like the rock channel, and then it's automatically playing the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it's currently playing that song. So it's not like, oh, I want to play Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, here's the start of the song. It's like Pandora. It's like a radio station. You just jump in and like it's playing that song. And if you have the controller down, it's just kind of like you're watching a music video station. It's just like playing the music video for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
So me at my home at the exact same time, it's playing the exact same.
Everyone in the world that is listening to that channel is now currently listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's pretty cool.
And you bring up the controller, and it's like, okay, here we go. And it brings up the highway, and it just gives you like 3 seconds before it starts throwing notes at you. So you're probably not going to get a good score for that song because you've missed part of it. And you can see when you go in to play the game, every single person that is currently watching that channel and playing that game, and who the current high score holder is, where you rank against them. So if you see like, profile names or gamer tags that you want to grab and remember for later. And they have, so the thing that I think about that is, one, it's a nice pick up and play thing where you get home and like, playing Rock Band at Judges Week, a big like, and they actually like have done a lot of things to try to prevent this, but like a big thing that slows the experience down is what's the next thing we're going to play. It's like, oh, okay, we all kind of have to vote, and does somebody want to play, we would do something like Metallica, or do you want Pantera, or like REM, and it's nice having the channel because it just goes. Like you literally go home, you don't have to think about it. It's like, I just want to get more in-game currency, I want to unlock some more things, I just want to play Guitar Hero, I don't care what we do. And it's kind of fun to be synced into like what other people are playing, and maybe like what my friends are playing, or like what channels they prefer.
That part's the coolest thing to me, that they're actual channels.
Yes. Even cooler than that, I think, is it seems like the perfect party option for a music game, because you put the controller down and it just keeps going, and like it's a radio station, so they're not going to keep looping, I would assume and hope that they wouldn't keep looping the same songs over and over and over again. And because it just plays the music videos, it's just so awesome to have on at a party. And then when somebody comes up, it's not like, all right, how do I do this? They literally just hit the button and notes come at them, and then they just play.
Yeah, but also there's no penalty for failure. That person can just be a total scrub.
Right. And it's just going to affect their score.
Yeah.
And then, so if you just want to like goof around and play, that's fun. It'll obviously sound bad when you miss a note. It does like their classic like clank. It doesn't not play the notes, but there's a little bit of like music hiccups that happen like when you miss notes. So so you put that down and like leave that room and then come back later. It's still going. And you kind of still have that music in the background. So I thought that was fun and kind of solves. I don't necessarily solves, but like addresses the issue that you had of like dealing with these fake people. Mm-hmm. That like I hadn't seen the music video for Chili Peppers' Higher Ground in like 15 years. So it's fun to see that music video again. Just like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Or like some things, Judas Priest breaking the law. Like, yeah, I've seen clips from that, but I don't know if I've ever watched that whole video start to finish. So there's just a lot of like, a lot of nostalgia in like watching these music videos again. It can be kind of distracting. There are also premium channels. And this is interesting. Like, again, when they brought up microtransactions, you're like, but then again, the whole music genre is built on microtransactions. They're like, we're going to keep throwing new, songs at you, and you can buy them. There's going to be 2 different types of currency. One's going to be paid, and one's going to be currency that you unlock in the game. And I don't know if the single-player currency that you unlock contributes to Guitar Hero TV, or if you can only earn Guitar Hero TV currency while you're playing that. But there's all sorts of there's like challenges and all sorts of stuff you can do. Like I said, if you log in every day, you get like a little chunk of change. If you want to put in money, you can access premier content. And premier content is stuff that they're like, you can't really buy this stuff yet. Like, we just got this new band that's come out. Like, we just got this new stuff, and this is going to be available in the game for like 3 days. All of those premium channels will have 3 challenges that you can beat, and if you beat those challenges, you can play the mode. So you just like get 3 stars in these 3 songs, and if you play those, like, cool, now you can access the premium content. In 2 days, it's going to recycle for something else, and we're going to bring in new things. And this new stuff that's coming in is like stuff that hasn't been in the game before. So if you like Judas Priest and you like that song, this might be like a live version of that. This might be a band you've never heard of. This might be an album that hasn't come out yet. And like this one song that this like indie group is like, yeah, put our song in Guitar Hero TV. That's like, you'll promote us basically. Like, they were the 3 songs that I played in Guitar Hero TV. I'd never heard of these bands before, but I'm like, this is kind of cool. And this video is kind of cool.
So I'm sorry. So I pay for the premium channel.
No, you can access the challenge. You can beat those 3 challenges, and then you can access the premium channel. Or you can just spend real money. Just be like, I want it now. I don't care. I don't want to do those challenges.
Oh, so I can earn my way in.
Yes, you can finish those challenges to get your way in, or you can just spend, in-game currency and get it.
It's still pretty sucky, man. Because like how hard are those challenges?
They're not that. It was like 3 stars on any difficulty. So you just like easy 3 stars, burnt done.
Because basically,
like
it's
3 out of 5. I think
it's like I'm wasting my time grinding, or I could spend money to just go to the songs.
Which I feel like is kind of the antithesis of what you were saying earlier, of like that pick up and play anytime sort of.
Well, keep in mind, this is a premium channel. This is stuff that like we're promoting this just for a short amount of time to introduce you to stuff that may be coming to the game later that you can just directly access on the TV channels. Whereas like there's gonna be a ton of other channels that you can also just jump into those.
I'd say I'm this outraged.
Okay.
I'm this outraged by this.
That's it. Every time we have a Guitar Hero just played, I'll just be like, how outraged? The outrage meter.
Like, imagine a music store, Brandon, and they're like, okay, this is the premium section of our music store.
Right. That is a preview for stuff that's coming up.
Yeah. Why would the preview, the advertisement of what's to come, be the thing that you spend money on?
You're not. Preview's a bad word because you are accessing it. It is game content.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be put into the game.
But it's weird. It's like, that's the same thing that like if Nintendo was like, if you just beat this Mario level in a moderate pace, which you can probably do, you'll get this thing in the Nintendo store for free. And it's like, you'd be outraged about that? You'd be like, what?
I see what you're saying, because it eventually will be free anyway. Like, it's a bonus, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And 3 songs in Guitar Hero, like, come on, it's like, what, 10 minutes? Like, that's not a huge thing.
Yeah. It's just that thing. It's that money. Once you get money involved, emotions get involved.
Okay. Well, let me drop the outrage meter.
Okay.
Not only do you have to buy the game, right? You got to buy instruments as well.
There is a new instrument for the game. Correct.
Yeah. So like it's. Again, it just seems a little overreaching. And I'm assuming that if on top of all this stuff, like every other music game in the last 5 years, they're going to release new songs that you can just straight up purchase anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just another way of making money.
Is there a mode I show you in either of them where I can just like pick a song and play it?
Yeah. You can make playlists. You can go into like, these are the songs that I have access to.
And I do that in live mode, right?
And live mode have its own set of songs. It's like it's like a single player progression thing. It's like specifically you're playing these songs with this band because they performed them on stage. Whereas if we want to keep adding songs to the game, we don't want to have to go out and shoot something else at
Okay, so I do that back at GHTV.
Yeah, like I think a lot of the new content post launch that's going to be coming at the game will all be through GHTV.
Got it.
That like I'm a guy on stage playing, like that camera perspective is going to be specifically for a story, or for the single player campaign. As you play GHTV, you also unlock what are called plays, and that will gain you access to stuff that you don't own. So it's like, I don't own this song. I can just try that song out and cash in one of my plays just to try out the song. So again, it's like if you played Rock Band 4 and it's like, oh, we have this new Green Day pack, and you're just like, cool, because I haven't spent any of my plays, kind of like the coins that you earned walking around in the 3DS. Like, oh, I'm gonna try that song out.
Can I buy plays?
You can buy currency, and then with that currency, you can buy songs. And there is stuff that you can buy. You can buy game player cards, like in Call of Duty, where you have like a little rectangle that's like you can stylize, or like a specific thing that like identifies your character on the leaderboard.
Ridiculous thing like that? Absolutely.
You can also buy highways that animate. Some of them animate.
What? Okay, I don't want to be.
And if you go into a premium channel and you like get in the top tier, you like win the premium channel challenge for that 3-day period. You can unlock those items. You can unlock little highways. The one he played was like Panda Loves Rainbows, I think it was called. So it's like a bunch of pandas and rainbows and stuff, and the little icons turn from pics to like ice cream sundaes. So you can like stylize the game.
So is it like getting a card back?
Um,
Do you have to earn it, basically?
Yeah, some you earn with challenges, some you earn with in-game currency that you just unlock by playing the missions and stuff like that.
This is crazy stuff, man.
I don't want to be a curmudgeon-y old man, but do you know why people like Guitar Hero 3, Guitar Hero 2, and Guitar Hero 1? Because they're well-made games with good music that are easy to play.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. There was no animated highways. There was no, like... The fact that we spent like nearly 10 minutes trying to understand and explain the microtransactions, even if it's fine, it's just kind of exhausting. Like, it's the same reason, in a weird way, why the music industry has stumbled, is because like they tried all these gimmicky things to make people buy music, but they didn't just like. Do you know why Spotify is successful? Is because you pay a flat rate to get easy access to everything.
Which you can do. You can buy like a 24-hour pass that gives you the game.
24-hour pass.
That's just like everything. So like your friends are coming over and you're like, oh yeah, sure. And you spend a couple bucks, like boom.
What about a lifetime pass?
Maybe they didn't talk about anything like that, but maybe you can do that too.
Like, what songs are in this game? Do they matter? Like, I don't, you know.
They've released some of the track lists, like off the top of my head. I mean, I mentioned some of that I noticed today that I thought were cool to play. There are only about 10 available, I think, in the.
Speaking of like music licensing wise, I bet they can actually go pretty crazy with GHTV, because it won't be permanent in the game.
Right.
And so they actually won't have to pay for it forever. And so they might actually get some pretty crazy stuff on the channels. I think the channels might turn out to be cool.
I mean, I see what you're saying, Ben, but at the same time, you look at the old model, and it was like, here's this game that's locked in with these songs that you play, and it's animated like this. These are the venues, done. And like they're bringing that, they have that.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we're either going to do packs, or we're going to add on, like we'll do like Guitar Hero Aerosmith, or Green Day, or anything like that. Like these big new games or big additions, and you got to pay in on this giant chunk, and then maybe later you got to like buy songs. I mean, remember talking about being convoluted. I remember being really confusing. Like, okay, wait, if I buy this pack, I get these 3 Green Day songs, but I already bought that one. So if I buy this pack, I can get that to get the 3rd song, but I'm getting 2 songs I already own. Whereas in this, they're adding a mode that's just like songs. More just songs, just go. Just like you jump in and like, great. And you're like, oh, I like this channel. Oh, this song wasn't in the channel last week. It's just like this constantly evolving system that's like, if you just keep playing more, we're just going to keep throwing new stuff at you. And then just like kind of the way popular music works now, if like I hear it on Pandora, like, oh, I want that. And then you can buy just that one song, add it permanently to your library, play it anytime you want.
So then all the songs are permanent in a weird sense.
It was the HUD was temporary, and it was kind of like, again, it's one thing to navigate a game actually, like buy a guitar controller, like it was kind of tricky, like going through.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's a long one.
I feel like this game is trying to be everything to everyone, right? Which makes sense from a business perspective, but to me that's really boring. Like, I understand that it's not for everybody. I understand that it may not be your thing. But what I like about the first 3 Guitar Hero games is they feature very specific music, and within that specific range, there is a lot of variety. But one of the most infamous games in all of Guitar Hero is Through the Fire and Flames in Guitar Hero 3, right? And that's just an insane, cheesy metal song that's really fun to play, completely ridiculous. Like, this doesn't sound like a game that is interested in having those kind of moments, It's too cool to have really dumb characters named Judy Nails, and it's just going to be a service. And, I'm sure it'll be great. You can have friends over and it's easy to play, but like, where's the heart? Where's the fire and flames? You know.
Well, I think again that's back to the single player. That's like the first thing they showed. So it's really like what. I think that I really like the breadth of the experience. It sounds like for you, Ben, that's really important. Like that story, that single player thing. What songs they pick for that?
I think there are two kinds of people in the world, right? I think there are song people who get really attached to songs and like listening to the radio and like that stuff, and that's totally fine. That is a completely valid way to listen to music. That's not me, you know. I enjoy albums. When I sit down and I like listen to something, I try to listen to an entire album or like a good chunk of it. And you know, you're talking about the sort of Pandora thing, and I think it's a cool thing, and I think it will help a lot of people. But for me, you know, if Angels and Airwaves came on, like I just couldn't handle it. Like I couldn't do it.
Well, you listen to another channel. And
again,
right,
that's true. I guess that's true. It depends on what the channels are. That's
and
a good
again,
point.
you have to ask yourself, as good, say that single player thing is amazing, and just like, oh, that's all I need.
Yeah.
You bought the game, you're done, you beat the single player thing, you're like, okay, and then it's just like you go back to the game like 3 weeks later, and it's like, here's all this crazy music and all these different ways to access it. Thank you for your opinion, Ben. Really quick before we wrap things up, I just want to talk about that guitar.
Okay.
I played on regular, and it was hard because just having the 3 buttons on top and the 3 buttons on the bottom just messes with your brain. Like
No
act
colors.
like really committing that like black is top, black is top, black is top. Got it. Like, and then I like go down to white, and then black notes would throw at me, and I'd be like, you know, like every single time. And it was just fun. Like I played Rock Band at Judges Week, and I was like, oh yeah, Rock Band. Oh, okay, good. And then like after 5 minutes, I was set. Whereas in this, I was struggling with it the whole time in a good way, like in a way that like they have notes that are you press, you know, one of the 3 things, both buttons like all the way down, so you lay your finger all the way across the guitar, and like just throwing one of those in while you're like doing a black bottom in the middle and a top white or vice versa on the thing, you know, and then back and forth and back and forth and then the full, like crazy. And just something that I'm excited to get good at and not really focus less on like, my pinky doesn't stretch that far, and more on like my brain doesn't stretch that far. I really have to like wrap my head around it.
Oh, my pinky.
You know,
Right, yeah.
I'm really glad that you brought that up because like my favorite experiences with Guitar Hero were when I was first learning it, right? When I had to start on easy and then work my way up to medium and then eventually get to expert, right? But eventually you get so used to it that even expert isn't a challenge. And so going through that process again sounds really fun. And I think other music games have done it the wrong way, where they try to simulate real guitar playing too much. I don't want that, because you know, if you're gonna play real guitar, just play real guitar. Like don't make it a hassle. Still make it relatively easy to do. But this sounds like it's a nice middle ground where you can learn it all over again, but it's not overly complex.
The Guitar Hero live TV live stream is going to be epic with Ben Moore. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, big time.
Put a guitar, you know, guitar around your shoulder and put you in front of the camera and see what happens.
I hope so.
Magic.
I used to be like really legitimately good at Guitar Hero, so I hope.
We'll get to practice
I
beforehand.
hope so.
Awesome.
But,
I'm
hope so.
excited for that.
thank you for the chat, gents. Thank you for your fervent opinions, sir. And we'll get more at E3.